Welcome to Jiveside Music Instruction, the YouTube campus. Frettin' Around with Forrest. I'm Forrest. We're going to be fretting around. This is a new series I want to do every week, so I welcome you to it, and I welcome your thoughts about it, and I hope that it gets more of you putting your fingers on fretboards. You know what the difference between you and Eddie Van Halen is? He's played more guitar than you. You know the difference between me and Eddie Van Halen is? He's played more guitar than me. Why do I say that? Well, if we have functioning brains and functioning limbs, honestly, we're capable of anything. It's just a matter of putting in the time. Can you play like Eddie Van Halen without putting in the years and years and hours and hours and hours that he's put in? That's debatable. But can you get yourself feeling good about your own music and your own ability to improve on something that, even if others can't see you improving, you can at least see it for the rest of your life? Because music is a terminal disease. It's part of the human condition. And without it, the human condition would just be pointless now, wouldn't it? Without music, life would be a mistake. So, pick up your guitar or your bass. Now this methodology that I'm going to bring forth to you can work on any instrument. It's all about breaking it down to the coordination required for the particular instrument. So, with guitar, since that's what I'm holding, and that's what we are going to be fretting around with, Forrest, me again, playing guitar is patting your head and rubbing your belly. You're fretting and you're picking. The better the coordination between these two, the better you'll play. The faster you'll play, the more you can reflex all your desires and imagination. So, I'd like to introduce a 4-tiered method, and you can look forward to 4 videos every week. The first, which is for the body, is all about warm-ups and just muscle memory building and coordination building. The second, gotta do something for the soul. We're just gonna jam out a little bit. I'm gonna offer up a riff, and I'm just gonna play it, and you can just jam along. Imitate music. That's what the soul needs. Just creating what you think music is all about. Writing hit songs and forgetting about them over and over and over again. Step number 3. Gotta do something for the mind. The academic. Gonna go through scales, gonna go through some chord shapes. We'll talk about all the needs to knows in order to get better on the instrument. Because as you get better, you don't just replace the first things you learn. You just get better at doing those first things you learn. You get quicker at accessing the information. You get quicker at getting from point A to point B without having to stop and think. It's all about accessing things quicker, but it's always the same things. Once you learn where G is, you don't advance to some other note. G is always going to be G. It's always going to be in the same place. And our final step is the raison d'etre, the reason why. Songs. So if you look into my guitar help video playlist, you'll get a good idea of what will be coming out. It's just a show and tell. It's a play along. Maybe I'll stop and talk about it a little bit, but for the most part, it's just going to be a show and tell, putting the notes where I think the notes are, and just sharing with you my transcription and help you get some tunes into your hands. Sounds cool? So let's go over that again, one more time. We gotta do something for the body. Gotta do something for the soul. Gotta do something for the mind, and then we'll get to the reason why. If you keep yourself organized in this way every time you play, whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 3 hours, what have you, you will always get better. So, come on, boys and girls. Let's get to fretting. Let's talk about the body. So this is an exercise that's very, very simple. A lot of these videos with the body are going to be very similar, but it's just to keep your imagination going, keep it from getting stale. There's only 12 notes on this thing, so you have to do the same stuff over and over and over again. But it's your imagination, it's your passion, it's your expression that keeps it interesting. So this simple warm-up, first thing you do when you pick up your guitar, don't think about what am I going to play. Don't think about how I'm going to play. Just start playing. And what is playing? Putting your fingers on the fretboard, picking the strings. Guitar doesn't even have to be in tune for this. You can do it in front of the television. In fact, if you can watch 30 minutes of TV while keeping your fingers moving, that's a good first step to getting where you want to go. So, this first one is very simple. First finger, first fret. And we're just going to play second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret, fourth finger, your pinky on the fourth fret. Now notice, they each kind of own their own little territory here. Hand positioning is very important with guitar. When you're learning your chord shapes, scale shapes, which, believe me, I'm going to boom, drop on you like Galileo dropped the frickin' orange. It's all a matter of just shifting physically where you are on the guitar neck. Huh, isn't that something? Why is guitar the most popular instrument on the planet? Because you just learn shapes. Of course, you can learn so much more than the shapes, but no matter what way you look at it, they're still shapes. So dig this. We're going to count in. We're just going to play 1, 2, 3, 4 across all 6 strings. 1, 2, 3. While you do this, give the guitar strings a really good squeeze. Hold on to those notes to the last possible moment. Okay? When we get up to our last note with our pinky, we're going to slide up a half step and reverse direction. Again, squeeze real nice and hard. Don't kill it, but you definitely need to give a good squeeze. And then guess what happens when we get here? We're going up a half step, changing direction. I will run out of air. Important to breathe while you stare at the camera instead of your hands. This could be your tune. Perfect for while you're watching television. Watch 30 minutes of your favorite show. Go up and down the entire neck like that. So, like I said, just go up and down the entire neck. Go all the way up, go all the way down. Looping by going up a half step, changing direction each time your hands reach all 6 strings. So this is muscle memory and coordinating. This is in the way. And coordinating these babies, right? Picking and fretting. You'll notice in my right hand I'm alternating my picking. I'm hitting both sides of the string. Please start taking mental note of doing that. Also notice that I'm not throwing my fingers off the guitar neck. Take mental note if you are. Just being aware of that, your body's going to, and repetition, your body's going to adjust. These obey your every command. Believe me, you should, if you've got a brain in your head. So what's the difference between you and Eddie Van Halen? He's played more guitar. Functioning hands, functioning brain, you're good to go. And believe me, people have done incredible things without functioning brains or functioning hands in all kinds of creative endeavors. So, your imagination will keep this interesting or from getting stale. So we just ended, we're coming up here on our next thing. And this time we're going to skip our fingers. Okay? 2, 3. Skip your gonna go up a half step, change direction. Playing with the metronome, of course, is very, very important, but also developing your own sense of rhythm is even more important. A metronome is to help you develop it. But, like I said, this is just an exercise. This is picking up your guitar and playing right away rather than thinking, what am I going to play? Do I want to play that? Do I feel like I can play this today? Am I interested in doing this style? How do I want to express myself? Well, express yourself by just picking it up. And just doing the basics of what playing guitar is. And change it up to keep yourself interested. Now, I will say, you want to keep your patterns consistent. If you're constantly changing your mind, you know, what kind of way is that to go through music? But let's try a couple of these, right? We're not going to do the whole neck. Please do that on your own. But let's get something for the body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chromatic scale? No. It's missing a couple notes. This is literally just a symmetrical pattern of hand positioning. Same tempo, we're going to play each note twice now, but same pattern as well. Obviously, as I said earlier, you want to stick to one pattern, try to get the whole guitar neck up and down without stopping. If you make a mistake like I just did there, just don't stop, keep your rhythm going. Rhythm is a locomotive, heading into the infinite beyond. It doesn't care if you're on or not, because it's just going to keep going. Now, let's go to the skipping, playing each note once on quarter notes. For those of you who are a little more advanced, you know, adding a pinch harmonic while you play could be a way to do it, or swinging it. I mean, whatever. It's all about your imagination. Keeping the repetition interesting, which, hey, ain't that music? Yes, it is. So on and so forth. Let's do one from the top. See if you can keep up. It's okay if you can't, and if you can, super sweet. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna double time, not our picking but our fretting on this next one. Stop. Skipping, same tempo. 2, 3. So just have fun, stay relaxed. I do this in front of the television, or I did a lot for many years. As I fucking fuck up. 2, 3, aim. When I mentioned the television comment earlier, it kind of helps you multitask. If your attention is forward, you really start to develop the muscle memory of just learning where the distances are, and also figuring out your own rhythm and how to speak or move around while you're playing. So that's the idea, and that's how our little warm-up videos are going to go. If you think about it, if your fingers, I don't have very big hands, I don't have small hands, but I don't have big Jimi Hendrix hands, so I'm not getting the thumb over that often. But if all 4 of these fingers, and 5, if you've got big mitts and a, like a Telecaster or something, if every single finger has touched every single string and every single fret over and over and over and over again, learning songs is so easy because all you're doing is seeing a specific combination of fingers, strings, and position. If you've already played up and down this neck, up and down neck, up and down, you're not having to do anything new. You're just putting them into a particular order. I think where a lot of guitar players get stuck is when they learn open chords. And they never get away from that. They never get up into the guitar. They never get into single note stuff. And I was in that trap until a guitar teacher, when I was about 20, he said, "What kind of guitar player do you want to be?" And I said, "Oh, I'm like a rhythm player." And he says, "Well, why don't you want to be a lead player?" I'm like, "Oh, that's not for me. I don't have fast fingers." And he's like, "Show me one person who's born with fast fingers." I said, That's true. Most babies can't even grasp anything, let alone flutter their fingers like that." And he also said, "Don't you just want to get better at guitar? Don't you think that's a part of playing guitar?" And I was like, I hadn't thought about it that way. Music is something that's with you your whole life, and if only you see yourself getting better at it, it's more than worth it. And I can play licks that I never thought I would. I can learn songs that I just feel confident that I can learn them. And you forget things too. But breaking it down like this helps. Stay organized. Something for the body, something for the mind, something for the spirit, and the reason why. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're looking forward to more of these videos. I will see you on the next video, which is something for the mind.